Hey everybody, today's today.
Monday.
No, it's not Monday.
Yeah, it is.
That's vacation. Today's Tuesday.
No, it's Monday.
No, it's Tuesday.
It's Monday.
That's my 8-year-old. Stick your head in the door. Ask what day it is.
It's Monday, right? Tuesday. No, it's not.
That's vacation mode. That's my 8-year-old son, Colin. I'm on vacation in PEI this week. So that's why the messages and things like that are getting out a little later. Just in vacation mode, but still, this is what I do. This is who I am. So it's not work to me. It's responsibility. So anyway, I'm really pleased with the feedback from the long weekend. For a lot of you, it's the first long weekend that you've had while participating with the inSight services. And I just wanted to say that you all showed quite a bit of restraint, a lot of maturity, focus, and still some balance. You know, there were some beers and some foods and things like that were had that are necessary this time of year, guys. I mean, you know, again, like you've heard me say it a bazillion times, you can't take it with you. So it's about balance. So what I struggle with, and intentionally so, because struggle means growth. What I've been growing at is the work-life balance, and that's a big part of my life. You know, when you love what you do and you love who you're with and you love so much in your life, sometimes it gets garbled, and you can put too much emphasis on one thing and create an imbalance or instability and neglect other things, even though you may love them. Just out of habit, you end up putting too much time and effort into one thing. And really, at the end of the day, like I've said in I think the video that I just posted regarding, you know, productivity and being busy are not one and the same. All right, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive. The goal here is to be a great juggler. So I work with professional athletes and, you know, top level executives and high performance people. And a lot of the time their perceived success comes at the cost of something else, because we only have 100% to give, which means we can only give 100%, not 110 like some of the memes and the bullshit out there tends to imply. We have 100%, we can give 100%. And how we allocate the 100% is a big determinant into our return on that energy investment, right? So if you invest your 100% properly, you get a better rate of return. So where I feel the instability or the inadequacies is it's in the return of our 100%, right? I think if we're healthier and when we're in tuned with ourselves, we're able to allocate that energy a little bit better and get a better return. So although we can only donate 100%, we can get 150% back, right? We can get even more than that back if we're good about where it is that we allocate these moments in time. I read a book a while back, and excuse the terminology, but this is the actual name of the book, and it's absolutely incredible. You know, one of these life-changing books. It's the subtle art of not giving a fuck. And what it really means is it's about placing your priorities. It's about not giving a bleep about certain things, but giving more of a bleep about other things. So it's not one of these, you know, novelty books. It's actually pretty groundbreaking. You know what I mean? It's one of those foundational books where, you know what, I'm giving way too much to too many things, and that's why I'm not getting the return on my time. So the things that I could be investing more in, I'm not putting enough into them to initiate a return. So this is a big problem in our culture. We've got so much going on. We've got too much attention being, you know, spread out way too thin, that we need to focus our energies a little bit more. And that's where health comes in, right? When you become healthier, stronger, more energetic, you have a tendency to guard yourself a little bit more and really just kind of allocate your presence, your time, your energy a little bit better, because you yourself feel like you're worth more. I know when I was obese, everybody got my attention. Like, I was a pleaser. I would do absolutely everything for everybody because of the fact that I didn't have any self-worth. And as I started to get my shit together and, exercising, eating, self-affirmations, listening to people that were much more insightful, I guess, for lack of a better term, right? That had been there, done that, and recovered from it. Some of the postings of the people that I'm putting out on video, those people I listen to virtually every day. And again, like, it starts to infiltrate, starts to penetrate, and then all of a sudden you start to see commonalities with these people, and you start to see it, wow, if they did it, I can do it. And then things started to turn around. I started to value my time. I started to value my opinion. I started to value myself. And then with value, right, like any hard-earned cash, you're not going to squander it. You're not going to waste it on useless things. It becomes more of a quality than quantity. And things started to turn around. I started to see better investments in my time. One of them being inSight versus Simply for Life. I was able to work better with people daily versus weekly, and having generic meal plans and things like that. I was able to shape and mold myself a little bit better to be able to suit individual needs, as opposed to just kind of blanketing everybody with the same protocol. Anyway, I digress. This isn't a business pitch. So what I wanted to say, and where these posts this morning were going, is the influence that you have on those around you by being balanced, right? Everybody's tired of seeing their parents and their loved ones and siblings go through these radical diets where they're restricting and, getting to a certain point only to watch it just kind of crumble in front of them. No wonder why, we're raising a generation of people who are anti-dieters, who really are scared of their food, scared to take holidays. Like, they're just walking around like their health is something that is built upon, straw or eggshells, and at any moment their health could collapse. They're delicate flowers, and nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, we're here for a reason. Our ancestors were the strongest, smartest, and best at allocating their resources than any others, and because of that they survived and they were able to procreate and protect, and that's why we're here. So our bodies are incredibly strong and resilient, but there is a balance requirement. You can't be all work and no play. Fear is a feeling, right? Danger is real, but fear is a feeling. And here we are, we're more concerned about fear than we are with actual danger. I mean, how many of you are actually afraid of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, like all these things that are statistically right there at the gate waiting to get in, like the zombie apocalypse. But yet we double check our doors, in the evening to make sure they're locked. We lock our cars. We, stay social distance from people. We, don't talk to strangers. We don't let our kids go to the park. We're worried about, predators. And statistically, that's, when you actually look at the statistics, you'll see how minimal that is, but yet that takes up so much of our thought process. But yet, again, we have these innocuous diseases, illnesses that are, ravaging our population, and yet we aren't giving them too much of a thought. Like, we don't think about that stuff during the day, and we make poor investments. Oh, I want to eat this, even though whoever may be thinking that could be 80 pounds overweight and with high blood pressure and high blood glucose, but yet they lack the insight to be able to say, right, I'm at danger here, I'm at risk. I'm walking through the slums of New York with $100 bills hanging out of my pocket, and that's a high risk situation. And where a lot of people are right now is they're in high risk situations, but they just aren't aware of it, and they're taking the resources and they're allocating them in different directions. Like people that are overweight allocating their energy and time and focus on exercise, when you've heard me say a million times, if you can renovate your diet, if you can focus on nutrition, get help, the return on investment there is massive. and be able to lose body fat and create an organism that is more designed for exercise and responds in favor, whereas a lot of people step into the exercise forum prematurely and their body's not designed for it. It hasn't been modified enough to actually enjoy the exercise and looks at it as stress. So in our culture, this is what's, what our, then pretty much that and water are the two banes of my existence, is people coming in and getting a meal plan or going on, prescribed macros. And then all of a sudden, I want to exercise. I want to start hitting the gym and doing weights and this and that. And I want to do it every day and I want to lose the weight faster, as opposed to going at it from, a strategy, like you would an investment. You're not going to dump your entire savings, life savings into one singular investment and have nothing there. That's irresponsible. Whereas you may take a small percentage of that and you may invest it. And then if that investment yields good returns, then you may invest more. Or you may invest what it is that you're making on that investment. Like guys, there's so many different ways that these skill sets are transferable. Anything that you profit from, anything that you're successful at, you can apply that skill set to nutrition, to lifestyle. I know many successful business owners that are total, messes, but yet they're really, really good at business, or really, really good at sports. So again, they've put all of their emphasis, all of their eggs in one basket, and their social life is falling apart. Their physical health is falling apart. Even some athletes, the toll that their sport is taking on them because they refuse to eat right and sleep and rest and recover. The toll of exercise, the toll of their athleticism, is too much for the body to take, because the body's not getting the support that it needs. And I see that in everyday life with you people. You've got so much on the go and you're spread so thin that exercise or other things that you take on that could be very, very advantageous to you actually have the opposite effect, because you've invested into them poorly. You didn't remove your investments from other areas to reinvest into these areas, if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't want to talk in circles, but I see pretty much with the seasonal changes, I see it over Christmas. I then see it usually March, April with people that travel south. I see it all summer with the people that take, like myself, these weekly vacations with family and friends, and they go and they visit. Those are the seasons, the big seasons, I find, that I see a lot of anxiety towards things that should be celebratory, things that you should be actually looking forward to, things that you can afford because you've got enough in your account to do so, right? You can spend a few pounds on vacation and come back, yes, a little heavier than when you left, yes, a little bit more dehydrated than when you left, but those were investments. So because of the weight and dehydration that you invested, the return on your investment were some incredible memories, photos and time shared and laughter had with people that mean the world to you, so to me, that's an investment. It's not a waste. It's not a cheat. It's an investment. It's not an expense. Again, it's an investment, right? And you can recapture, like any investment, you can recapture the weight, you can recapture the hydration, but you're not going to have those moments again, right? And that's really, really important. And unfortunately, you don't hear enough coaches talking about this because it's all about getting there, right? Heart disease doesn't take a vacation. Eat your broccoli, It's total bullshit. Like, these are people that haven't lived lives. These are single people, for the most part, that live and breathe the gym, and eventually I'm going to end up working with because they burnt themselves out and they fell off the deep end in some capacity. And these are the people that everybody's listening to. You need to get jacked and tanned and hit your goals and rah, 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 right? Anyway, it's sickening. So again, use your better judgment. Listen to the people that make sense. Listen to the people that have some semblance of balance, right? There's an old saying in business and in many other things, including athletics, success leaves clues, right? So in order to know where you're going, it's